initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
Peace to the tribe. Welcome to the show. It's the Initiates of the Flame, the hottest flame out here, the number one spirituals podcast. I'm here with my co-host, my business partner, my Brody. Serpent Man, what's up with it today, dog?
What's good? Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. What's really good with y'all? I'm really excited. It's just another day, but I get to be here with my brother to keep that flame burning. What's really good with you?
Shit, man. Just really here just to let the people know what's up with the flame, man. Let them know what deals we got going on. You know what I'm saying? If anybody is out here pushing themselves, you always got to push yourself, because ain't nobody going to push you like you do for you. So right now, while it's limited time, get your 5 for 55. Get all of our flame supplements in a discounted package. You know what I'm saying? So that comes with the maca, the Tonga Ali. You get the flame on, basically the kit itself. So tap in, lock in. But while we're here, we're going to let you know about these strong items, because a lot of people don't know about herbs, don't know about supplements and natural supplements, right? Because there's all types of shit out there that people just be slapping together in capsules and just throwing to people. So it's like knowing what you get and understanding is a deep, vast thing. Like, I can tell you how much herbs has impacted my life, down to the Columbia Exchange, down to the White Rabbit. Shout out White Rabbit, Columbia Exchange, man. Make sure y'all follow that rabbit, jump to the rabbit hole. But when I think about herbs, I see them as something that's always been a strong tool in my inventory, just from losing weight, dealing with sicknesses. I'm pretty sure y'all grandma cooked up some random ass shit for you to stop coughing. Or did the big brother get to grandma too late and she start giving your ass Robitussin and NyQuil?
You out of pocket for that one.
I'm just saying, man. You know, not everybody grandma was on her witch shit. You know, they fucked up grandma and all those goddesses and took away their witchcraft, man. So it's like not every grandma gonna have all the spices in the cabinet. She might, cause she know how to throw down, but not everybody gonna be on the herb game. So if you're not locked in to also a top tier article Substack, go ahead, lock in. It's here where we talk about the Flame On pill and just the supplements, period. Right? So if you're not tapped in to the Substack, you're honestly missing out. It's really a strong spiritual Substack. We talk about a lot of information, down to the nice Templar, shout out Fiat, all the way down to basically to Pascal Beverly Randolph. You got Aleister Crowley. We got so many occult teachings on this Substack that you guys are missing. So stare into this flame, because you got to give some offerings to it. Ashe?
Ashe.
When it comes to herbs, fam, like what have they done for you, and what is the one thing why you was like, you know what, I need to get these herbs out to these other people?
Well, I've been stoked in the concept of semen retention and rebuilding myself up from a cellular level. So my thinking was that, what is it that I could take that is natural? What is it that I could use to help enhance what it is that I want to accomplish, which is an integrity of the body. Like, I want to be firm, but I also want to be solid. I also want to have endurance. I also want to be flexible, and I also want to be able to have the energy to do so. So my idea was, why not bring something to the people that they could actually use, and at the same time not try and make it seem like I'm trying to get rich off of anybody, because I'm not. We're not trying to get rich. Like, we're just providing value where value is needed, and it's good for you, right? Like, we're not trying to get you to spend your money on anything that is just about you spending your money. Whatever money you spend with Flame On Shop at flameonshop.com is going to be something that you're going to utilize. So whether it's the new Tropics, or it's the ebooks that we put out, or it's the articles that I put out weekly, like the Flame On Shop is a spiritual tool network. It's growing by the day, but that's the whole purpose behind it. I wanted to give something of value to the people without coming in with my hand out, if that makes sense.
Most definitely, because it's so easily just to like make some shit and then try to get a quick sale, instead of trying to be patient, building something, learning, and honing your craft. Because a lot of people get caught up into the idea of like, well, someone's already doing that, and it's like, yeah, that's true, but what about you? What about your uniqueness? What about your ideas? All that matters and plays a role. And if you're worrying about what other people are going to think, what other people are going to say, good luck trying to make a way for yourself. Because the people that we call dumb, that we call stupid, or we seen the so-called judge, those people are making money because they don't care what people think or what they're going to say about them or how they're going to look. They just do it.
That's a fact. Like, there's not a person online that isn't trying to sell you something that isn't also at the same time attempting to put you on the hook that you'll always need them. Like, no, this is not something where you're always going to need us. This is one of those things where once you figure it out and you learn it, like, it'll be that much more easier for you to do it yourself. And once you get to a point where you can do it yourself, it won't be necessarily that you won't need us, because you don't need us now. But it'll be just another tool that you can add to your kit that you can use for your spiritual development and cultivation in the future. Like, this isn't a money grab. This is just one of those things where we provide value. The money that comes back to us gets put back into the pot, and we create more value for the people.
Facts. And it's like, how many of the men, right? Because women can use this, but like, today we really mostly focus on the testosterone aspect, right? But how many men do you have ashwagandha in your kit, right? Are you finding ways to bring more testosterone, raise your calmness, and lower your stress levels? Like, us men, we don't really have an avenue for that most of the time. Most of the time when we try to relax, we try to find substances like beer, porn, and we end up just falling into a lazy state, or a place of like, I'll be good, I'm just hit to work tomorrow. But it's like, when you deal with these herbs, I need you to understand it's coming from a place of spiritual practice, right? If we can use these herbs like that and then take them on the go and put them in capsules, right? We're living in ritual moments and every day in our life. Because I have my capsules spread out. I have my morning dose, I'll have my afternoon dose, and of course, I'll make sure I have some of my coffee. But ashwagandha, I've been using ashwagandha since 2021, bro. I promise you. I will have rosemary and ashwagandha tea. I will make coffee with chicory root and ashwagandha. Bruh, the days I was fasting with ashwagandha and chicory root, it was so easy, because that chicory root helps curb your hunger, while ashwagandha helps those stresses, help you build the testosterone, help you keep that energy and clarity going. Because sometimes, you know, when we take in a lot of caffeine, we feel jittery. We have that the sense of crashing. Well, the ashwagandha is helping me balance that out. So I just need men to understand, like, you need this in your kit. Even if you don't get it from us, you need this in your kit.
That's a fact. Now, if you're unaware, we're gonna make you aware. Yesterday I completed the second book. Really proud of this work. It's a book related to the spell of fiat, and the only reason I'm bringing up the book is because these things are things that we're doing systematically and continuously, right? So the book goes in play with everything that we talk about on our podcast. It goes in play with everything that's going on now today with the spell, so to speak, that is hanging over people's heads when it comes to money. Now, the reason why this book was important, the reason why I wanted to put this book out is because a few years back, Hood Mystic sparked something in me, and he sparked it in me to a point of understanding that it wasn't about fault, why the majority of people don't have, and why a small amount of people do have. Now, if we compare that to the same thing we're talking about with our nootropics, there's a reason why some people are healthy, and there's a reason why most people are not. The crazy part about life is that it's common for people to be unhealthy. So part of my mission is to make it uncommon, right? It's not a thing for people to understand that the ability to heal themselves is coming from themselves. And it's hard when you live in a world where everything is about spending money on medication, spending money for quick fixes, spending money on Ozempic, like all of these different things that make you addictive and cause you to buy them, but they're not treating or quelling any of the symptoms that come with an unhealthy being. The only thing they're doing is they're making you an addictive individual, and you're going to be addicted to these things, and you're going to be beholden to these things, and you're going to need to spend a lot of money on these things. So part of the reason why, another part of the reason why these nootropics are important to me and to the initiates and to the cause and the mission of what it is that we're doing is because it's not expensive and it comes from nature. Like, I don't care necessarily if you get the organic supplements or nootropics from the Flame On shop or not. It's cool. If I was able to give you something that made you think a little bit differently, I'm good with that alone. So knowing that you can get these things and knowing that these things can aid you in helping you healing yourself with your meditation work, with your ritual work, with your chakra work, with your shadow work, all of these things go hand in hand. And there's not an ingredient that we have that isn't natural. There's not an ingredient that we push that isn't organic. There's not an ingredient that we push that is manipulated by human hands. We don't do any of that. All of this is nature's calling, and we're just trying to shorten that span between you and realizing your connection with nature.
Because a lot of times, family, when you deal with herbs, right, it helps you quit the fuck shit. Right? A lot of people have a hard time eating bad foods or mental clarity. And it's like when you deal with the herbs, it builds the space to handle how to stop those things. Right? And I'm not talking about like one time a day. No, 3 cups. Three cups of tea. Right? Whatever herb you're working with, you need 3 cups you need to work with for 30 months. I'm sorry, 30 days. I know Ron was like, damn. Nah, 30 days, 1 month. You should work with your herbs like that, or work with your combinations like that to help really bring in the effects of the herbs and the benefits to your body. Because think of this, right? If you see, my OGs got me hip, right? The body doesn't stop running, right? When you go to sleep, you know your body's still running and functioning. So when you think of this, right, before you go to bed, what are you drinking? You know, are you drinking soda? Are you drinking water? Because your body's going to feel whatever it's using that you're putting that fuel in. So imagine if you was drinking herbal teas before you went to bed, or you was drinking herbal teas constantly throughout the day. How would your body be running? How would your body be moving? Like, you got to really think of that, because you know most of the waste and inflammation that we have in our joints and stuff, we piss out. So if you was drinking lemon water in the morning, you're help clearing the bloating for your belly. So imagine if you had the ashwagandha, right? Nick, look, I've been learning how to make maca oat milk lattes, gang. Like, look, bro.
Wait a minute, you didn't tell me about that.
I've been messing with it, gang. Look, I'm trying to make this mushroom coffee and shit. So I've been throwing.
You doing secret shit on the low. You ain't even telling me.
Maca.
There you go.
Monk fruit sweetener. I'm like, shit. Don't they put this cold foam cream on this shit at Starbucks? Like, I'm really trying to make these changes, because when we have certain things in our life and we want changes, it's hard to make those changes when we don't have habits to replace them. That's how we get caught into places where, like, I can't make a change because we don't have something new to make that. But as we talking about these herbs, right, I need y'all to understand that the main point of this is to really get into the space of meditation and semen retention. Now, if you all haven't heard of the book, The Multi-Orgasmic Man, you need to get into it. Pause. I didn't pick the cover. These Negroes did, so you can ignore that. I might black that out later. I don't, you know, I wouldn't. Come on, y'all, lock in with me. You know, I wouldn't do that to y'all.
Wow. Wow. That is a huge pause, my guy.
Like a huge pause
on my screen right now.
So
hold on, Slime. What? Wait a minute.
Yo, you know, I mean, hey, if it was me, I really would have put a brother right there.
You Gucci. I'm fucking with you. You good.
So what I need you guys to understand, right? We need to all, right? See, me, Serpent, Breeze, Hood, and other spiritual man, we are sexual kung fu. We're a martial artist, right? And what I mean by this, see, y'all probably going like, okay, D, here you go with this shit again. But nah, like, listen to me. So sexual kung fu is a term popularized by sex blogger Jonathan White, right? But fuck John, I ain't worried about him. The art of mastering sexual energy, transmuted into other aspects of life, achieving multi-orgasmic experiences and gaining sexual control, drawing inspiration from Taoist traditions. So this is something that has been around for a time, right? Ancient thought people understood the power of their semen, right? And another word for semen is life force or ki or chi. We don't really deal with these aspects because they have been literally warped out of our culture. They have been taken away from us. We don't want to talk about how our culture, how people look at sex today, right? But other places, how they look at sex and their studies is different, even with marriages and all. So until we accept that fact that our cultures and how we interact day to day in our relationships has been affected, that's when we can move into this reality of learning how to control our semen, learning to choose our sex partners right, learning to understand our body and what pleases us. Because at the end of the day, if we don't know how to please ourselves and understand our body, how are we expecting someone else to? How are we going to get mad when someone is not pleasing us right? Right? And look, shout out Big Dog. 30 months of mugwort. 30 months of mugwort. Come on, man. Like, my boy locked in. Shout out to Steph. What's up with Steph? How you doing? Make sure you guys go check out Steph's reading. She did a reading with the initiates for the flame, and we broke down her chart. We did a lot of conversations. So make you guys check that out. Shout out to Steph. But the main thing is that we need to be sexual kung fu artists, right? Serpent, when you hear sexual kung fu, right, what comes to your mind in your opinion?
Sexual kung fu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it goes into what I was telling you earlier. The difference between a man and a male is the fact that a real man can control his seed, and a real man controls his seed all the time. There is no in between with that. There is no, oh, I just needed to get some. There is none of that. So the difference is a male is a person who needs to have sex for lusting purposes. A man never engages in the act of sex without the intent of having a child. Now, that doesn't mean that the man doesn't do sexual things with their partner. Oh, they absolutely do. However, the controlling of the seed is purposeful. So I'm not engaging in this act with any woman that I don't foresee myself having a child with. And if I'm not intending on having a child, then the seed never gets spilled. That's the difference. So when you talk about spiritual kung fu, yeah, these kung fu masters would be what you would term as men who are in total control of their seed, as opposed to the dude that just needs to fuck. You know what I'm saying?
And that's facts. And now, before we even get into the thing about, right, because I wanted to bring that up, because the reason why I have this page in front of you is that it starts with meditation first, right? And the most common way of meditating is to do belly breathing, right? And starting with the belly breathing is really making your belly big as a pregnant lady and exhaling and keeping count of your breaths. Anything you get distracted with, start over, try to count to 100, maybe 5, 10, 5 minutes, whatever. But learn how to do this practice, and you can get into the work of sexual kung fu or semen retention or even root blocking, because the practices go on working a certain muscle that we all have. And working this muscle is literally a gate. It's a doorway, right? And dealing with this gate and doorway, it causes us to deal with forms of death, right? The little death, right? Every time a man loses or ejaculates his sperm, he dies. He becomes dumber. He loses his essence. You ever, ladies, not TMI, we ever been, after you got done having a good time with a man, he just roll over and say, fuck you? Well, it's because he wasted his essence. He wasted his essence. So you have to realize that when you with a man and y'all creating a space of retention, it's always going to be a place of love. It's always going to be a place where the relationship is growing. Because post-nut clarity kills everything. Because once the man has post-nut clarity, the woman does too. And it's creating this trifecta. And I need you to understand that when you are spilling this seed, you are really destroying the creation for your life. And as a young man, I learned that the hard way. And I don't want other young men to go through that. If I can, me doing this, if I can stop young men from wasting their time by having meaningless sex and chasing women, because it's like each time you're doing this meaningless work, you creating a void for the real partner to come into your life and be there for you. Right? How many times have you wasted your time with somebody all because you wanted a good night? That's just common. And most of the times, those good nights are not even a good night because we are looking for something deeper in that. We are looking for intimacy. We are not looking for sex. A lot of people are looking for intimacy, right? Serpent, how many times you caught yourself up with a woman thinking you wanted sex, but you really wanted some intimacy, bro?
Yeah, probably like 96% of the time. Yeah, like I've been on 45 turns around this bitch, right? And I can honestly say, like, my body count ain't small, but it ain't big compared to a lot of people. But it ain't small. I ain't gonna.
He said it ain't Gucci third leg big. I ain't.
Nah. I would have killed myself a long time ago. But anyway, I would say that, yeah, 9 times out of 10, I would prefer the intimacy over the actual act, just because when the act transpires, so many unforeseen feelings and emotions get incorporated. And when that happens, especially when you're not clear, you know, with the other individual, or the other individual isn't clear with you, that's when things get weird. And now, instead of not knowing, or because you guys really don't know how to communicate with each other, because you've already done the act, now it makes it impossible, right? Because you can't work backwards. Like, you got to work up to something like that. And unfortunately, growing up, like, it was all about the act and not about the art of it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now at this age, I can appreciate the reality that it's about the art of connection and being on the same frequency with someone, as opposed to getting your rocks off, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's just really like 9 times 10, you get your rocks off. You low key be like, I can't believe I'm still doing this shit, man. Like, you be like, I'm sad. Like, it's like getting slapped back into reality, man. And then, like, it makes me think about the one article that the Initiates wrote about pair bonding, because it's like, it's so many times that we constantly be out here with multiple people. Like, you ever just been out with somebody and, like, they really great people, they really showing you a good time, they're a good person, but you're just not feeling them. And then you even have sex with them, and it's like the sex wasn't even good. And it's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to let you go, or you just ghost the person. That's when you realize that your pair bonding is you've been jacked up because you had too many partners, you had too many sex, you bonded too many people. You don't know what's even intimate to you anymore. You know, it felt like you did everything with somebody. Like, you know how people be like, I'm not gonna start over again, or what I'm gonna talk to somebody about. How was your day? Asking them colors, what did they like? But it's like, the thing is though, like, we throw it out the window, right? When we think about how much our feelings go into a relationship and how much we get distracted and not try to know our partner or ourselves, we are really just out here for a good time, not a real time. Ashe? Or Ashe. So, you guys should, I really recommend reading this book, especially for the masculine men, to help improve your sex game, help improve your spiritual connection with yourself and your seed, because your seed is really a gateway to the life that you're wanting. And for the women out here, you know, the divine goddess, if you're wondering how do I benefit from this, well, you benefit from your man. If he learns this, you'll have an amazing time. And also, you can also work these you can also do root locking as well. You can also do these practices as well. So, you know, don't ever think that you're left out. No, it's not. But we got to educate the men, because we play a role out here too in these streets. It's not just the women, it's also the men. It's both of us. We out here both are not educating each other. We're not trying to educate the youth. No one's educating me. You know, it's really God, my brothers, you know, my dad. So it's just like, I gotta Gotta make sure like I'm doing my part of sharing the information I'm receiving and making sure it's the right information. Because it's like, you know, everybody can't do what I do, or I can't do what everybody else do, but I know what God wants me to do, right? And God wants me to share this information with young men to keep their dick in their pants. Don't be out here chasing women. Listen to your elders and really build a connection with God, because you can learn how to please yourself through this. And we're not going to go through that. We're going to go through that on a different episode, because, you know, the sexual tension that we deal with, you know, we got to learn how to use it in the right way. And this book teaches you how to do it in the right way, how to explore that with your partner. You know, one thing about spirituality is that it governs around sex a lot, in a way, through creation and through self-pleasing, self-understanding. Because it's like, you know, when we talk about polygamy or monogamousness, or whatever term you want to call it, right? That comes from a place of understanding yourself and who you are as a spiritual being. So whether if you want to do multiple partners, multiple marriages, whatever, you understand from a point of view of what you want and how you want your life to be. That's the real thing about this shit, is programming your life. So it's like, if you haven't gotten the book Blue Magic yet, then you're not trying to program your life. If you haven't got the spell of fiat yet, you know, you're not trying to understand currency for yourself. And we're not taxing for these books. I'm just letting you know that. So really find time to really build your spiritual life. Join the Discord. The QR code is at the top. Share this with somebody that you care and love about, or share this with your partner if you guys want to be sexual kung fu artists. But I want to say thank you for all who watch and join. I gotta go train. I'm gonna drive through this crazy ass storm because I want to do some jiu-jitsu, and I gotta do some more work at the office, guys. So tap in with your boy, holler at me. If also, man, make sure you guys are showing off your pages in the Discord. Make sure you're showing off your YouTube, your business, whatever you got going on, showing off on your Discord. Somebody in Discord might want to fuck with you, or might want to build something with you, or you might want to build something with us. So tap in, lock in. I'm gonna lock in, and I'm gonna really have some fun. So Ashe to squad, and peace.
Initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
Underestimated your child.